Yes, you can start now.
Good morning to all the participants. As you all know, Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology Diploma Study Computer Engineering Department has organized an expert talk on fundamental of software testing. We have with us today Ms. Pratiksha Patel. She is currently working as a senior QA automation engineer. She has more than 5 years of experience in this area. Now I request Mrs. Pratiksha Patel to share more about software testing. Ma'am, you can start.
Hello, greetings from Pratiksha Patel to all the viewers. Let me introduce myself. I grew up in Surat, India. After marriage, I moved to Baroda, Kevadia Colony, Vanakbori, and currently I am in the United States. I have background in electronics engineering from Surat, India. After moving to US in 2006, I pursued my further study and achieved associate degree in website design and development from the University of Massachusetts with a full-time job and household responsibilities. After that, I continued further my study with software testing, and for that, I studied SQL, manual testing, Java, Selenium, and automation testing. Currently, I am working as a senior QA automation engineer at Hughes Network System located in Maryland, United States. Without further delay, let's start our webinar. I would like to confirm I am audible and as well as my screen is visible to you. Correct? The agenda of the webinar is discussion on fundamental of software testing. Here are the topics which we are going to cover today. So what is software? What is software testing? Why software testing is necessary? Goals of software tester. Why software fails? SDLC and STLC. Different STLC models to develop software. Types of testing. Defect introduction. When to start testing, when to stop testing. Automation testing. Various tools and certifications. Skills required to become a good software tester. So let's begin. So what is software? All you know, software application is a set of functionalities developed by developer for users. It is developed for a specific purpose. It is used to perform some task. And you know, the software applications, MS Word, Facebook, Calculator, WebEx, Zoom, these all are applications which is known as software. There are two types of software, application software and system software. So MS Word, Facebook, Calculator, WebEx, Zoom, Gmail, all these are application software, and operating systems and utilities, which are includes in system software. There are three types of application software: web-based application, desktop application, and mobile application. So what is software testing? Software testing is the process to identify if software application is working as per business requirements. It is the process to check if the software is breaking or crashing at any point. It is the process of executing a program or application with the intention of finding defects. What is manual testing? Manual testing is the process of testing the application with the human intervention to find the defects. In this method, the testers plays an important role as an end user and verify all features of the application to ensure that the behavior of the application is as expected. It is a very basic type of testing which helps to find the bugs in the application under test. Now, let's talk about automation testing. Automation testing is the testing the functionalities of the application with the help of tools. Why software testing is necessary? We develop software, but software testing is also necessary. Software testing is necessary to point out the defects. Those are made during the development phase. It is necessary to find out if software application is working as per the customer's requirements, to find bugs as early as possible and get them fixed, because bugs can be very expensive and even it could be more dangerous. To minimize risk and improve the quality of the software by providing quality software, we can gain customers' confidence and we can reduce maintenance time and cost as well. That is also very important. Goals of software tester. Software tester's goal is to find bugs as early as in the software development process and make sure they get fixed. Software testers need to make sure software is working as per customers' requirements. That is the main goal of the software tester. Now let's talk about why software fails. So lack of understanding of requirements, whatever the requirements we capture, so that requirements doesn't capture properly. BA misunderstood requirements from the client. Frequent changes in the requirements, large scope, the more code, the more bugs, time pressure and an environmental cause. Architect created wrong design. Developers implement wrong code. Testers did not test application in detail. Communication gap between team and clients, incorrect calculation and data edits, incorrect matching and merging of data, data searches that yields incorrect results, incorrect coding and implementation of business rules, inadequate software performance. So these are the reasons. Because of that, software could be fails. Now we will talk about software development life cycle, which is known as SDLC. So what is SDLC? Software development life cycle is a step-by-step approach to develop the software. Different phases of the software development life cycle. So first phase is requirement gathering. In this phase, BA collects requirements from the clients and creates FRS, SRS documents. FRS documents meaning like functional requirement specification. Analysis and planning. In this phase, project manager and BA check whether requirements can be implemented or not within the specified timeline. Design and architecture. Technical architect creates design document as per requirements. Development and coding. In this phase, software developers write code to implement requirements. Testing phase. So in this phase, software testers test application against the requirements and make sure it works as per the business requirements. User acceptance test, which is also known as UAT. So UAT is done by end users or testers. Deployment. In deployment phase, application is released to the end user and also provides user guide to end user. And the last phase is maintenance. Here is a diagram for SDLC. First phase is requirement, then after analysis, then after design, coding, testing, and deployment. Software testing life cycle, STLC. So software testing life cycle is the subset of SDLC. Testing phase in SDLC is expanded further in software testing process. It is also known as STLC. STLC contains various phases for testing. As we see in the SDLC, here in STLC, there are also different phases. First phase is requirement analysis. Tester understands SRS document and clarify the doubts if they have. Tester identifies the requirements which cannot be tested. Next phase is test planning. During the test planning phase, test plan document is prepared by the test lead. Testing is performed based on test plan document. The next phase is test design. During this test design phase, test artifacts are created. Tester identifies test scenarios and write test cases. So test scenarios means like a high level description of the requirements, and test cases means step-by-step instruction to test the functionality of the application. Test scenarios and test cases are reviewed to ensure correctness and completeness. Test data is identified during the test design phase. Requirement traceability matrix is prepared by tester. So RTM, so which is also a document. It is mapping document which maps test cases and requirements. All test artifacts are created during this phase. The next phase is test execution. Test cases are executed on application. Defects are reported to development team. Retesting and regression testing is performed over here in this stage. And last phase is test closure. So test summary report is prepared, which contains information about performed testing activities. Other testing reports are also prepared, and this test report is sent to test manager. So SDLC models to develop software, there are few models in the market: waterfall, V model, agile scrum, and spiral model. So nowadays, agile scrum is very popular methodology to software development in IT industry. It is iterative and incremental model. Now we will discuss about types of testing. So there are two types of testing: static testing and dynamic testing. So in static testing, test cases are not executed, while in dynamic testing, test cases are executed. So in static testing, test cases are not executed. Main power of static testing is reviews. It is verification process. It helps to find defects in the early stage of the software development, which saves cost and time. So as we seen before, dynamic testing, during the dynamic testing, test cases are not executed, and testing performs on like actual software and try to find out defect during the dynamic testing. There are two types of dynamic testing: white box testing and black box testing. So white box testing is also known as structural testing and glass box testing. And there are two types of white box testing: unit testing and integration testing. Black box testing, which is also known as behavioral testing, closed box testing. There are two types of testing in black box testing: system testing and user acceptance testing. So what is white box testing? White box testing meaning testing the application without knowing the internal structure of the application, while black box testing is the testing of the application. In white box testing, uh, internal structure is known by developer, while black box testing, behavioral testing or closed box testing, in that testing, internal structure is not known and it is performed by tester, while white box testing is performed by developer. So level of testing. So what is unit testing? Unit testing is a testing of smallest functional part of the application, which is performed by developers. It is also known as component testing. So developer, they develop the code, and side by side, they will perform testing as well to make sure that code is working properly or not. So that is called unit testing. Integration testing. So integration testing is done by joining two or more modules. Those are logically related. First, single modules are tested. After testing, they are integrated with each other and tested as a bigger module to find the bugs. It is performed by developers and testers. What is system testing? So in system testing, all the modules of an application are integrated as in one single identity. It verifies the whole system is working according to the business requirements, and the final output is as expected. It is performed by testers. User acceptance testing. User acceptance testing is done against the user requirements before rolling out the application. Usually end users who will be using the application, they test application before accepting it. It is performed by testers and end users. So we can take one example of Gmail. So in Gmail, when we compose email and we send email to the correct user ID, right? So that compose is a one module. So that is like one unit. And after development of that compose module, developer, they perform testing, and that is called unit testing. Once that email is sent, and that email will go in the sent module. So sent is another module. After that, sent and compose, both modules are combined together and tested as a bigger module. And then all the modules are combined together and tested as a bigger entity, which is called the system testing. various testing performed on the web application. So there is a like functional testing and non-functional testing. So what is smoke testing? Smoke testing is a testing which is performed on the application to make sure the build is stable or not. And it is in layman language, we can say it is a normal health checkup. Sanity testing. Sanity testing is a testing in which specific area of the application is tested, and it is also known as detailed health checkup. Retesting. What is retesting? So the bug which we found from the previous release, which are fixed or not, that is called retesting. Once retesting is done, regression testing is performed to make sure bug fix and new requirements haven't hampered the original functionality of the application. So that is called regression testing. Usability testing. So usability testing meaning user friendliness of the application, how the application behaves user friendly. So that is called user friendly. Exploratory testing. Exploratory testing meaning sometimes testers, they don't have enough time, they don't have enough documents, and in that case what they will do, they will explore, they will learn, and they will try to find out bugs. So that is called exploratory testing. Accessibility testing. So you may aware of some people, they are with special needs, let's say like deaf people, blind people, color blind people, less hearing people. So these type of people also access application as the normal people, they access the application. So that type of testing is performed, which is called accessibility testing. Browser compatibility testing. So browser compatibility testing is conducted to determine the compatibility of the software with specific browser. That is called browser compatibility testing. Cross-browser compatibility testing, that means testing the compatibility of the software with the various browsers and with their various versions. Let's say, suppose one application, suppose you are testing Facebook application with specific browser, with Chrome. So that is browser compatibility testing. And if you test that application with several browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Opera. So in that case, you will test the compatibility of the software with various browsers, and that is called cross-browser testing. Localization testing. Localization testing meaning testing the application in specific area and specific locations and in specific country. Suppose one client has several locations. Let's say it has locations in India, US, China, then that application should be rendered in that proper language. Suppose in India and US, the application should render in English, and in China, applications should render in China language. Now, non-functional testing. So performance testing, that is a non-functional testing. So a testing performed to determine how a system performs in terms of responsiveness and stability under specific workload. It is conducted to understand the behavior of the system under a specific expected load. Let's say, suppose we test application with 20 end users, and after gradually we increase the workload and we test application with 500 virtual users, and we check the behavior of the application, how it behaves. So that is called performance testing. Security testing. So security testing is conducted to find out all possible loopholes that might cause a big loss. Database testing. So data which we enter from the front end, UI, and those data are stored at the back end in the database. So testers validate those data by writing SQL queries and make sure data stored correctly in the database. So that is called database testing, or you can say backend testing. Now we will talk about defect. What is defect? Any variance between expected and actual result, which is known as defect. It is also known as incident, issue, bug, and error. Defect is reported by testers to development team. Development team fix the defect. Defect tracking tool is used to track the defect information. Nowadays, Jira is more popular tool, which is known as like a defect tracking tool. Screenshot and videos are provided to development team to reproduce the defect. Severity and priority are the impact of defects on the software application. So what is severity? So severity means how far defect affects to the user. What is priority? How soon defects should be fixed? Now, defect life cycle. So software defects reported by testers need to be addressed and tracked properly. So this is done by implementing defect life cycle. And here is the diagram of the status of defects. So the new, here in the diagram, we can see the status is new. Like when the bug is identified at that time, it is marked as new. Open, when defect is opened by developer and they think this defect is valid, then they mark it as open. And if suppose they think this effect is not valid, then they will close that defect and they will mark it as close. Once developer will fix the defects and they will assign it to testers to retest that bug. So the tester, they will test the bug, and if that bug is fixed, then they will mark it as a close. If that bug is not closed, then they will reopen and send it to developer again. And sometimes developer, they think this defect is not that much important and it will be fixed in the next release. Then they mark that defect as a deferred. When to start and when to stop. So as soon as requirements are baseline, we need to start testing. And as soon as optimum testing point is achieved, tester will stop the testing. And it is decided by test manager and test lead when to stop the testing. There are some criteria. So testers need to follow those criteria to stop the testing. Now we will talk about automation testing. I will give you a short glimpse of automation testing. What is automation testing? Automation testing means testing the application with the help of tools. It is a process of testing an application by using automation tool instead of the human intervention. Why is automation testing required? Reduce human efforts. It is cheaper and test cases execution is faster. Test result is readable. Test cases can be executed many times. Reusability of the code. Test cases can be run unattended. No human interaction is required in the automation testing. So when to start automations? So once feature is stable and tested manually one time, and manual test cases are present to automate, then we can start automation testing. So various tools which are available in the market. So Jira is a defect tracking and test management tool, which is widely used in the market. Selenium, it is a browser automation tool. Actually, it is interface, and all methods of interface are provided by the browser to open the browser. QTP UFT, which is a functional and regression test automation tool. SOAP UI, it is API testing tool, which is used to test the APIs. JMeter, JMeter and LoadRunner, both are performance testing tools, and Maven is a build management tool. So also, like, I would like to tell you about certifications which are required. So ISTQB is a worldwide certification. It is always good to have certifications which will help you in finding job. Agile Scrum Master, that is also certification, and it is used to grow in your team. After done Agile Scrum Master certification, you have chances to get job as a test lead and test manager. So some of the skills required to become a software tester. Following skills are required to become a good software quality tester: non-technical skills, analytical skills. So testers have good analytical skills, meaning like he can understand requirement properly. What is the requirement? Communication skills is also very important for software tester. Time management and optimization skills, and great attitude and patience. Technical skills, basic knowledge of database and SQL. Software systems have a large amount of data in the background. These data are stored in different types of databases like Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server in the backend. So there will be situation when this data needs to be validated. In that case, simple or complex SQL queries can be used to check whether proper data is stored in the backend database. Another skill is knowledge and hands-on experience of a test management tool. So earlier we discussed about Jira, which is a test management tool. So test management is nothing but managing your testing related artifacts. Uh, Without proper test management techniques, software testing process will fail. So Jira is very widely used tool in the market as a test management and defect tracking tool. Knowledge and hands-on experience of any defect tracking tool. Defect tracking becomes necessary because the entire team should know about the defect, including managers, developers, and testers. Several tools are used to log defects, including QC, Bugzilla, and Jira, which are defect tracking tools. We should have knowledge about those tools. Knowledge and hands-on experience of automation tool. If you see yourself as an automation tester after a couple of years of working on manual testing, then you must master a tool and get in depth hands-on knowledge of automation tools such as Selenium, QTP, SoapUI. So to know this automation tool, you require to learn one programming language. You can learn Java, C#, Python. For Selenium, Selenium works with multiple languages, kind of like Java, C#, Python, Ruby, Rail. So it is always good to have one programming language. That way you can choose your automation path. Now I will give you like a small demo on how automation testing is working. So here is one application which is for HR management. So let's see, I will show you login and logout functionality of this application. So I will log in this application with the credential. Username is admin and password is admin123. And I will click on login button. Why it is showing invalid? Just give me a second. Somehow this application is not working. So somehow this application is not taking this credential, but let me go through the code. So here I have written code for that application. So I have written this code in Java. So here is the URL of the application. Then after I have entered username. For that I have written this code. After that I have entered password. And then after I have clicked on the login button. So for that I have written this code. Also, I try to verify how many links are there on that login page. So for that I have written this code. And then after I will click on one link and that will navigate user to the access leave page. And after that, I have written code to log out the application. So let's run this code. Now code is running and you will see the application. It is getting open. Somehow this username and password are not working. So this way you will be writing the code in Java. I have used over here Java for Selenium. So this is all about like software testing. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am here to help you. Do you have any questions? I think it looks like no questions. So thanks to all viewers for your patience and time. Thanks to Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology to give me this wonderful opportunity. Have a great day and bye.